play. Let's see, yes. Revoke Existence, at least one of those. Alright, so here's what I think is auto-include. So we need some, we do need a few more creatures. So here's the Veldigan Setarch, which we're considering. We've got 2 Ariok replicas, which I don't really think are that good, but if we have to play them, we have to play them. Bonds of Quicksilver. That's not worth it. We've got Screeching Silclaw, which could potentially deck them if we had. I think we might have enough artifacts to make it reasonable. So let's go ahead and include that one in there. Do we want to have 2 Serpents? That's the question. I think Golmo's Warden's still a good pick to include because our 4-drops are looking a bit... Well, our 4-drops are actually non-existent before that. Let's see. What else is really worth taking a shot at? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mirror. I think if we include... I mean, I don't want to play it, but I might have to do it. That looks pretty good. I've also got, in terms of removal, let's see, Sun Spear Shikari is not... We're not going to include that. We don't have any kind of equipment. Dispense Justice seems... I don't know, it just seems weak to me. And I haven't seen anybody really play it to good effect. But it is an instant, and it could help us get rid of a big card. I think that's probably a sideboard card, honestly. If there's some kind of big creature that we just can't deal with, that might be a good card to bring in. But I'm not sure whether main decking it's the right choice. And Steady Progress seems kind of expensive for a card draw since we don't really have anything good to proliferate with. I mean, Trigon, we can just fill that one up without having to resort to proliferate since we're playing the right colors. I think the cards we want to consider are Disperse, maybe another replica, but I don't really like that card, to be honest. Let's see what else we have. I'm not going to play another Thresher. So maybe, okay, so these are our choices, I think. So I'll just put them all right here. Of these 4 cards. I think playing, let's see, our mana cost is around, our top one is 7, but most of our cards are around 2 and 3, with some 5-drops here. I don't think we want to play any less than 17 land, I would say. 17 land seems pretty reasonable, so at least one more card. So these 2 are removal, but these 2 are creatures. So are we a control-ish deck, or are we a kind of semi-aggressive deck? First of all, let's identify how many, like, see what our kind of curve looks like in terms of creatures. So we are pretty control-ish, I suppose. We have Revoke Existence, Calling Dice, Arrest, Counterspell, and some card draw. Plus, you know, we've got the Setarch, the Riddlesmith, the Mirrors. I mean, a lot of our early drops aren't really aggressive creatures at all. They're mostly just control-ish kind of strategies, and even, you know, even our later cards are kind of control-ish. I think probably bringing in the Scrapdiver Serpent is probably a better choice. Just because, I don't know, I like it because at some point we're gonna have to, you know, we're gonna have to kill them. So having some unblockable 5/5 Serpents, you know, seems like a pretty good deal to me. And the odds of them having an artifact in this set seems pretty high. So I'm pretty sure most of the time those come out, they're going to be unblockable. I mean, I'm not sure whether that was completely correct, but between these 3 cards, I think this one is probably the most consistently good. And I think Disperse, like, once again, they have a really good creature that we just can't handle, or some kind of big token thing. I mean, who knows what we might see. So at least these, I can bring these cards in. I have some decent, like, reliable removal for something we can't handle, so we should be able to take care of most things, I would say. Alright, so looking at this, we're going to need more blue, it looks like, than we need white. So 17 land. It looks like we might just go 9 and 8. Let's see what Moto says. Oops. Don't want to do that. 7 and 10. Let's see. I don't know about that. I do feel safer with 9 and 8, to be honest. Alright, we'll try that. I think that seems pretty good. I mean, obviously didn't get the bombs. We didn't get a Venzer or an Elspeth, which would be the kind of cards we'd want to have in these colors. But I think overall the draft didn't go too bad. I mean, in terms of rarity, we didn't get anything super special. We just got Memoir Slide and Venzer. But, you know, that's the way drafts are a lot of the time. So, I think we're pretty good with this. We'll just go with what we got and see what happens. Alright, so we're here in round 1, first game. I should mention that after I finished building the deck, I did take out 1 plains and add in an island, just because I thought, I don't know, it might seem like a good choice, because we're kind of heavy on blue, so we'll see what happens. And I'm going to choose to play second. Alright, I think this is a pretty good hand. Just talking to my opponent. Alright, so no, not going to mulligan that, and we'll go with this hand and see how it goes. We do have a mirror, so hopefully shouldn't have any problems getting our blue out. Sea Serpent was not exactly the card I felt like drawing there, but we'll see. Alright, so it's going to be a battle of the mirrors. I have all these islands, and I just draw half my plains. Ooh, I don't like that at all. That's a lucky play. That doesn't make me feel too happy about what's going on here. At this point, I think I might have to just play Arrest on his Scrap Melter, because otherwise it's just going to get too ridiculous. You know, playing the Replica is not a good choice, and just hanging back without anything else to cast just seems kind of weak. And I don't like using the Arrest on such a weak card, relatively speaking, but, you know, you do what you have to do, I suppose. We'll see what else he has. Alright, so that's basically a non-entity. Except he's going to use it to return his Scrap Melter to his hand, more than likely. So I could play... I mean, obviously if I play the Replica here, he's probably going to sack his creature, return his Scrap Melter to his hand, and then destroy it. That seems like the play for him, at least. Do I want him to do that? No, I think I'll just let him sit there. See what else he tries to play. A Life Staff. Interesting. That's a good play. He'll be able to sack his Replica there and gain some life and get his Scrap Melter back. Seems like a good play on his part. So what would I discard? Probably the Replica at this point. I think I do need to play something. So let's see what the draw is. Alright, so let's see. The Sultan is a lot worse, considering that he'll be able to get his scrap melter back at some point. Might just be easier to tempt him with a replica, so I might have to discard this Sultan anyway. Which, no, I think replica's probably the better one here anyway. I might be able to get him to waste his scrap melter